Morning, all. We're going to start off today with the season preview for the Boston Bruins. I'm wearing this jersey because this leaked out from Fanatics, so it may end up being the Paddington Bear jersey we get for the reverse retro, or maybe they do homage to these ones. Could do this in gold with black sleeves, but we'll see. So the Boston Bruins are a team that it seems like there's really a split, and it's almost 50-50 on the main channel. It's more 60-40 in the negative on the Entertainment Guy channel. And it's interesting because I agree with some of the pessimism here. This is a team that is going to be without Brad Marchand to start the season. This is a team that's going to be without both Charlie McAvoy and Matt Grzelcyk. And it's going to be a while before they get these players back. And we know how brutal the East can be. So it is going to be very difficult for Boston to stay in the hunt with teams below them getting better, teams above them holding steady. But if you look at the last 5 years, they've had a lot of success in the regular season. One Stanley Cup Final run as well. 2017-2018, they finished 50, 20, and 12. They were 6th in goals for and 3rd in goals against. Excellent numbers overall. Not able to get over that hump in the playoffs. 2018-2019, they were 49, 24, and 9. They were 11th in goals for and 4th in goals against, and that was the year they went to the Stanley Cup Final. Pushed it to 7, but the St. Louis Blues end up taking home the Stanley Cup that year. 2019-2020, they're 44, 14, and 12. I remember the 12 well. Goals for, they were 9th in the NHL. Goals against, they were 1st. They take home the Jennings Trophy that year. So Boston playing really well defensively, offensively in the playoffs in 2020. It just didn't work out. 2020, 2021, they finished 33, 16, and 7. This is the season, of course, where you're just playing your own division. It was a tough division. They ended up finishing 14th in goals for and 4th in goals against. And then the season we just finished, 2021, 2022, they finished 51, 26, and 5. Goals for, they were 15th, and goals against, they were 4th. So, again, keeping the puck out of their net has stayed pretty consistent, even though they went from Tuukka Rask to Swayman and Ullmark. The goals against stay low, and that is even though a lot of naysayers say Ullmark's contract's bad and it's not very good, but I thought he played fine last season. Is the contract expensive? Maybe, but honestly, I mean, Boston needed a goaltender. When you look at the goalies that moved this offseason, clearly marquee goaltenders are not on the market. So, exits from this team. Eric Howla, who of course was traded. Curtis Lazar, who's now in Vancouver, and Anton Bleed. It's a shame that a guy named Bleed ends up leaving the Bruins. New faces, Pavel Zacha, acquired in the Howla trade. David Krejci, of course, returns now to the team after a year away. I put John Beecher up there as a potential rookie to make this lineup, but this is not going to be a lineup that features a lot of rookies, a lot of younger players. At least not younger players who aren't already established, like, say, McAvoy or Pasternak. And then you've got Keith Kincaid, who's going to be in as the number 3, and Vinny Lettieri, who's able to play pretty well in the AHL and then come up and play in the NHL at times as well, and usually does pretty well. Their tandem in net is going to be the same as last year. It's going to be 1A, 1B, Linus Ullmark, Jeremy Swayman. I expect them to alternate the net, and I expect to see the same amount of camaraderie and all the hugging and all that fun stuff, which means victories. You know, those big hugs are after victories, so let's hope we see a lot of that if you're a Bruins fan this year. Although there's a lot that I know are not Bruins fans. Down the middle, this is where things get interesting, and I felt like I had to put the age up. I felt like, I can't do that with certain other teams and not do it with Boston, because Bergeron's 37. And he has had issues with staying healthy for a full 82 games in recent years, too. David Krejci's 36, and he's coming back after a year in Europe. Will he be the same David Krejci, or will he take a step back? It's tough to say. And at age 36, it would not be entirely surprising if his output dropped to, say, 40 points over this season rather than, say, 60 he would have had a few years back. Charlie Coyle, 30 years of age, and now pushed down to the number 3 spot at the center. And Thomas Nosek as well, 29 years of age, 4th-line center. Basically exclusively. There's the possibility as well that Zacha could end up being given a shot at a center spot. There's others, too, that can play center. And we'll see. Like, John Beecher's listed as a center in profiles I've seen of him. So, again, it's interesting because it feels like for Boston, they're going for one last hurrah. Now, when we look at their best and worst month this past season, their best month was March, where they went 10-3-1. Their worst month in my eyes is December, where they go 3-2-2. So they're still above NHL 500, but they only won 3 out of 7 games that month. And this is where we get into the channel vote, which is interesting. 3% on the Hockey Channel and 4% on the Entertainment Guy channel view them as being a top 2 team. Even as a Bruins fan, I can't get there and I can't make that argument. 41% on the Hockey Channel, 35% on the Entertainment Guy channel view them as 3rd or 4th. So 44% on one channel, 39% on the other view them as a top 4 team, meaning more than half the people that voted believe they're going to be in the bottom 4, which would not entirely surprise me with teams getting better as they are. 5th or 6th, 48% of the Hockey Channel voted them as 5th or 6th, and 51% voted them as 5th or 6th on the Entertainment Guy channel, and 7th or 8th, 8% on the main channel, 11% on the other. Out of 8,800 plus votes on the Hockey Guy channel and 643 at current count on the Entertainment Guy channel. So again, the percentages are close, a little more different than what we've seen with some of the other ones, but still. 62% on one channel, 56% on the other view them as being in the bottom 4 of the division. And again, just with the amount of injuries that they're dealing with to start the season, and they're getting older, and it's just that's what happens. So again, I feel like, there's a lot of things I said about Pittsburgh that can be said about Boston as well. So if I don't say them on one and I say it on the other, that's a problem. Their Stanley Cup odds, plus 3,500. I don't recommend putting down $100 on the Boston Bruins, just as a general rule. I know they won the Cup in 2011, but yeah, they'll get, if there's bets to get to Stanley Cup Finals, they've been in plenty since I've started watching hockey, but they've only won one. And that was over the Canucks, so, right? Anyways, their top 4 on the blue line is going to be interesting. Keep in mind, cap space, I skipped over. There's none. 0. Top 4 on the blue line, there will be a lot of cap space when all those guys hit the IR. I don't think that they're going to be going out and rushing out to try to find players to fill that necessarily, because then when those players come back and they're healthy, then you've got a massive problem with being way over the cap. So on their top 4 on defense, remember, Grzelcyk and McAvoy are starting the season on the IR, and they're going to be there for a while. So Hampus Lindholm, who comes over from Anaheim, signs a huge contract before the end of the season. A lot of weight's going to be put on him. Brendan Carlo as well. Then you've got likely Mike Riley and Connor Clifton in that top 4. Forbert might get some top 4 minutes here and there as well. And we'll just see what they do after that. It feels like Boston needs another blue liner, but that's what happens when 2 of your top 4 are out to start the season. Breakthrough candidates. I couldn't really find one on Boston. I thought maybe Zacha. I guess maybe. But at this point, Zacha's a year away from unrestricted free agency. I don't know if he's going to break through. So I really couldn't make a bet on a guy who played last year for Boston, younger player, who's going to make a jump offensively. Their coach is Jim Montgomery. That's a good story. I mean, losing Cassidy is kind of one of those things that Bruins fans didn't like much. But Jim Montgomery, I think, is going to be a popular coach, and I wish him the best. And, of course, Don Sweeney's still the general manager. Bruins fans seem to have some opinions on Don Sweeney's job as general manager. I'll leave it at that. Their leader in goals this past season was David Pastrnak with 40. We will see how well he scores this season, and if he's back with Krejci. He and Krejci had some really good chemistry the last time Krejci was playing for the Bruins, so we'll see if they have that now. Marchand, 32 goals last season. And right there, I wrote IR, because he's going to be on IR to start the season. And assist leaders, there's Marchand, who, of course, on the IR with 48, and McAvoy 46. So this is some offense they're going to need to replace. That's 94 assists, not in the lineup to start the season, and 32 goals from Marchand as well. So it is a tough hill to climb. Their special teams were good this past season, 21.2% on the power play, 81.3% on the penalty kill. So 102.5 altogether. That's not bad. And the expiring contracts are a lot. We could see Boston making big changes this coming offseason. David Pastrnak, Nick Foligno, Pavel Zacha, Craig Smith, Patrice Bergeron, Thomas Nosek, Chris Wagner, David Krejci, and Connor Clifton. So it is an extensive list of players who are on expiring contracts, and we'll see how it works out. We'll see whether or not Boston can stay in that top 4 or if they're going to fall out. It's a question I put to people watching this video. Are the Boston Bruins ready to take that tumble in the standings, or are they going to stay relevant in the top 4 and defy that gravity that most teams suffer with as they get older? I'd be interested to know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.